Search Committee meeting on Wednesday, August 20th at 11 a.m. in Town Hall. The meeting will be video recorded and broadcast over local access channel 8 and through the town website at www.eastham-ma.gov. So we have a guest today. I think we will start. We have Amy Ekman from the Select Board. And there's been some thought about maybe a different way to organize the liaison. So Amy, I'll let you start by talking about it.
Okay, and then, Kate's been involved in discussions with both Jerry and Suzanne about it too. It's just been.
Oh, excuse me. We need somebody to take notes.
I'll take notes again.
Thank you. Okay.
Thanks, Merrill.
So,
Merrill, you're Merrill.
It just, for us, it's been a little cumbersome organizing meetings. For interviews. Because we have several different people doing it. And for each of us and different, like you had trouble getting hold of Suzanne.
Right.
She prefers texts, because emails just get lost. We get so many emails.
Yeah.
So, it's just, it'd be nice to just have one person we're dealing with as far as scheduling meetings. So Suzanne and I talked about it and we, really hoped maybe you as individual committee members could align with our liaison roles to the other committees that we're, looking for people for, so that, we get to know each other's schedules and how we operate, and the best way to get a hold of us, and
And you're
Where you
getting
live,
from one.
get
search ones or members,
I think you can get it from two, and you go, well.
or three, or,
Yeah, no, it's.
So there's five select people.
And can you make sure all of you are speaking into the microphones, because this is recorded in?
Yes,
Thank you.
taken care of.
Thank you.
There are a lot of them.
Yes.
So I have a question, being relatively new to this. We tend to, at least I think, stay with our committees for a period of time. Is that the same on the select board, or do you guys
Yes.
shuffle it every year?
we're now in the second year of them being identical. Usually we reorganize at the beginning, when we have new board members.
Sure.
Right.
Things might get broken up a
Right.
little bit, but otherwise, we pretty much keep what we have.
Okay, yeah, because that's been something that's important, because.
Oh, absolutely, and that's the same with us. We
Okay.
like to stick with them so that we.
Establishing those relationships, I think, is
Is-
really, really important.
Right.
And having, what you're saying, Amy, I think, is having the consistency, always knowing.
Right.
Isn't that what we've been doing the last year?
But you haven't had the same as us, the same committees, like I have.
I see.
Right.
Now I get it. Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Gergana, do you have one as well?
Here, I give it.
Thank you.
So Jerry had talked to Kate, I know, to kind of propose that idea, and you had some thoughts on it too, so I'd love to hear.
Yeah, having been on this committee a little bit, probably quite a while now. I think it's 5 years. My concern was for the members of this committee, and the way it sounded to me, and you've mitigated some of that, is that the members of the committee would be switching once a year. And so that was an issue.
Sure.
And there were some who felt that they had established the trust and the working relationships, and to suddenly upend those. We also think about those who serve, and the committee chairs for the committees that we're serving. For me, I personally don't have a concern or an issue. The only issue that I would have is, I'll give an example. I applied to the finance committee. I happened to be the liaison. So I got in touch with the chairperson of the finance committee and said, this doesn't feel right. It feels squishy. She said, I agree with you. And I asked Dee, and Dee and I, switched
Well, and
off.
that was sort of my other thought was there's, I believe, 7 on the search committee, potential. So there's only 5 of us.
Right.
So, maybe you do break it up into 5. And then you have a chairperson who doesn't necessarily, isn't aligned to a committee, but can float. And maybe
I
the
like
other
that.
person, and maybe the other person
I want the chair.
does scheduling
Yeah.
with like Doodle Poll or some
Yeah.
scheduling program that we're all, and I talked to Jackie a little bit about it, and she said Kayla is willing to train people on Doodle Poll.
Oh, I didn't know we
It's
had doodle poll, okay.
Yeah,
I don't
it's a
know what
free,
it
it's a
is,
free.
I don't know.
Nice.
It's like a.
What is
it?
It's
Scheduling
online,
app?
scheduling, you say potential days, like you're available.
Yeah.
And then everybody else can check a box that they're also, and then wherever they line up, ooh.
It makes it so much
Yeah, so maybe there's one person that does that,
Yeah.
one person's the chair and a floater, and then the other 5 have a, I'm just
yeah,
throwing that out
And
there.
for clarity, the search committee is 6, we're about to be 5.
I know, but
And,
potentially 7.
Right,
Or the
right,
chairperson
but
seven.
we've been having trouble finding people for the search committee,
Yeah.
people who are willing, and we've been pretty content doing the work that we do, so.
Yeah.
We can always figure that out, and what happens too with us is if one of our members, for example, goes to Florida, one of our members used to go to Florida for the winter. If there were in-person interviews and she couldn't zoom in, some of us would step in and jump in. I think it's important for the record, Amy, and you alluded to it, but I think it's important to know what's the problem that we're trying to solve.
Scheduling.
Mhm.
I know, like
Yeah,
Ellen,
it's just
for
a lot
example,
of emails
back and forth.
And
It might be
we
10
did
emails.
actually
Yes.
miraculously combine 2 interviews with 1 select person, but 2 different liaisons, and of course, 2 different applicants. And then actually I was able to do 2 interviews with Suzanne at the same time, so that, kind of indicated we should be a little more streamlined and because otherwise it's like, can you come, I can't come there, I can't do this, no, not there, oh, I missed that email that you did, like,
And then the last one, there was the same applicant for 2
Yeah,
different committees.
yeah,
So then
that's
the other
right.
person didn't come.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh.
no, and I had the
So-
experience of I was trying to schedule Jamie consistent with a select one,
Yeah.
she said, well, Gergana has me for this one.
Yeah, so,
Okay,
Yeah.
so you kind of see that.
Yes, no,
scheduling-
I guess it's-
Scheduling is our, I
And-
spend
and-
more time on scheduling.
And
Yeah.
I think too that, what I've learned, and maybe I haven't been articulate enough about this, is that when I have a particular person on the select board that's the liaison to one of the committees that I'm working with, the first question I ask that select board member is, how do you prefer to be contacted?
Right.
And I work with them that way. So I know, for example, that Suzanne works full-time. She really can't be available work days. So what I try to do is back her interviews into the select board meetings, so she doesn't have to come to town hall more than once. And I've actually done
You've
that
done
with
it,
you
Yep.
as well.
Okay.
So
I don't mind coming an hour
I'm
before
sorry,
a meeting.
I stepped on you. I'm
No,
sorry.
that's all right. How do we coordinate all this with each committee chair? Respecting their timeframes as well. And number 2, doesn't everybody have to be on Doodle Poll and know how to use it in order for it to be
No.
effective?
No,
So how,
whoever,
if I'm not on
whoever
Doodle Poll,
initiates it,
yeah,
then they get the responses. So like, you're the one scheduling the meetings.
okay,
So
So we
you
have
would
to know.
initiate the doodle poll request to say myself, the chair of the committee and the applicant.
but you're getting an email,
You're getting an email.
okay,
Well, I'm just saying that, but still, it's replying to one thing instead of
Yeah.
several.
and does the email come from doodle poll or does it come from the individual?
I think it comes from Google Poll.
I just wondering,
Not
yes, so
possible.
the
Yeah.
select board, I
I
used
used
this
it-
being it, and that's one that they open.
But it says,
Yeah,
for
exactly.
example, we were using this for the Windmill, it says for sending. So
Oh,
it
it says
says,
who-
yeah.
So it's
Name.
requesting a
Yeah,
journal, okay.
I see.
You know, one of the things,
Well, I just wanna interrupt you for a minute, Kate, because I just had a memory. When I was on the search committee, way before anybody here was on it, with Amy
I was
Hackworth.
on the 2007.
Okay, so was Amy the chair, but I suggested that we do this, why don't we just match up with, you know, a selectman? And she told me that they couldn't do it, or they tried it, and I can't remember exactly the reason why they didn't do it. Amy was much less organized than our processes are now, so, but just as we're starting to talk and coming up with all the little, you know, ideas of, well, how about this and how about that?
We brought it up
Yeah,
before with her. and-
Yeah. okay.
well,
All right.
I think that people are getting a little bit more used to technology and, if all else fails. And we have someone who happens to be on the search committee who doesn't like to use technology. We have this thing called a phone. And we can make notes for people. I mean, that's part of the hospitality. And,
Well, that's
You
what I'm
know.
saying, if you have one person, say, designated to handle the doodle poll scheduling,
Mhm.
then doesn't really have to be, you know what I mean, each
Yeah,
person.
no, it's
I'm guessing we're not gonna get any volunteers for that role.
Yeah,
but
I
you
would
know what,
wait
we'll-
until,
Oh,
yeah,
we'll figure out how it
that we
works.
won't start,
internally.
I don't think we should start with doing it.
Yeah.
I think start more, if you,
Right.
if you're willing
Right.
to get aligned with
Right.
our.
Just to make
So,
somebody.
so if we decide that we think this is a great idea, do you want us to propose a linkage, or are there some relationships that select board people have that they?
We've already, we have our liaison list, we've had now, these are 2 years going, the same committee, so we have relationships
With
with those committees.
Right, but as do we, and so they're not, so
Yeah, I know.
we're gonna have to move some of them around.
Yeah,
we're each
gonna have to take on different
So,
Yeah.
yeah, so the question is, if we propose, are there any of these that are sacrosanct that you don't want us to move, or you saying you don't want us to move?
I think what is also, I think what's also going on is right now, there's a little bit of an imbalance here. So some people, because of the amount of work that is entailed in sometimes recruiting for these committees. Some committees are way more active than others, and there's a little bit of an imbalance here, so whoever, for example, goes with this particular one right here, I'm pointing to Bob Bruns. The Historical Commission historically doesn't really need anybody. Old Town Center hasn't needed anybody. Taxation aid is really, and.
Well, it's
and then-
fairly new and it.
Right,
Yeah.
so, and there's only 4 here, and there are gonna be 24 committees that we serve. And the reason why I say that, just so you know, is those are select board appointments. And we support and help finance committee appointments and moderator appointments, but we don't conduct the interviews because those are done by those committees. So there are 24 committees, and if you take 24 and divide it by the 5 of us, there's like 5 each, so. And I can say right here that there's a few here that are regulatory, that are really sort of a little bit more complicated in how things are made. So if you guys have the flexibility to maybe move things around
Yeah, that was. the
within
question.
yourselves, I think we probably could come to an agreement.
Okay,
That,
if you look at,
29.
I gave you all our
29.
lists.
Yes, your list, right,
Well-
we're not counting something.
Right, there's elected,
Is it
there's a bunch of elected.
they're elected rather than appointed.
Like I
We have
have
24,
library
Ellen.
trustees, elementary school,
Is that you
and
or
then
me?
there's, there's a regional school committee.
School committee.
Oh, yeah, that one.
high school?
Um,
We
That-
don't do that.
okay. So then Jerry, yeah, he's down, and then, right, there's only 4 on your list for Jerry.
Okay,
And I think there's only 4 on your list for me,
okay,
and then some of these other ones, they have. Like this right now.
okay.
So he's got 4, 4, 4, 4, and then, yeah, Suzanne and Jamie do
Have a
have
lot.
some heavy
Yeah.
hitting.
So
Yes.
Merrill has,
So would it help in the interim to get us to use Google poll as a start,
doodle poll.
doodle poll? As a start, would that help you guys
Definitely.
out tremendously?
Definitely.
Instead of just rearranging all of our assignments right now?
It does, but we all have different times when we're available for meetings, so again, that makes it harder, I think, for several of you. To then learn our schedules instead of just one of you, you know what I mean, learning
Yeah.
when we're most available.
So how about this? So if Kayla's willing to train us on doodle poll, we will take her up on that and I'll talk to her and see whether that's a 10-minute session or an all-day session.
Okay.
I would need to do it. How about if we take a pass at rearranging this just as a starting point? And then maybe, you guys, maybe it's you, I don't know who, we'll meet with one of us and go through it.
Yeah,
Like-
Suzanne's officially your liaison, I believe, so she might.
Okay,
Yeah.
and then we can go through and then it can be presented back to both bodies.
I did present you with the other list, just because we also have other commitments with, elected
Yeah,
boards.
yeah.
So we
Okay.
have
And we
more
won't
than,
change
more
those.
than it looks like on yours, is all I'm saying.
Okay.
So instead of, don't give Jerry or,
Yeah.
necessarily more than,
Okay.
and Bob was new, that's why he got those.
How about if we look at yours and we can kind of split up ours to, we're gonna have to reassign Gergana
Anyway,
again.
Right.
Anyway,
We already
right.
did.
Right,
We did.
and, so,
Well,
Okay,
yeah.
maybe, like if you look at it and say, oh, I align with so-and-so.
Yeah,
really
right.
Yeah,
well.
we can try to keep as many as we can.
Yeah,
On both,
Yeah.
for both groups, but recognizing that there are gonna have to
Yeah.
be some changes or it's not gonna work.
Yeah, I think we always have to be a little careful when we're doing any kind of organizational work, that it's not about the cast of characters and it's really about process. And that we're all using the same processes and it doesn't matter if, I know you well, I don't know you well, I
exactly,
don't.
no, it's
you
right,
know,
it should
it's
be the
just
same, someone
process.
should be able to step
So,
into
I mean,
your
I like,
role.
having relationships and doing that, but
Yeah.
again, I always like to focus when we're doing organizational stuff
Yeah,
on process,
Totally.
so just.
and that's really, like you said, that's our biggest, is scheduling, that's.
Right. Yeah,
That's what we're trying to
yeah,
address,
yep.
so.
I don't blame.
I mean, do you find text work the best? I know when I had it.
It could be either, for me, I see all of it.
With Jerry,
But
he
it's,
said,
it's good,
text me.
uh,
Don't even,
yeah,
text me.
it's,
And
it's more immediate, so yeah,
It went so much better,
yeah,
and
that's Suzanne,
it's
let's
immediate.
text.
Just text me, or even text me and say, I
I
sent
an
you,
email.
I
Yeah.
sent you an email,
Yeah,
check it out.
Yeah,
That does, so from what I can
Because we're all
gather
gonna
from
be
this,
emailing people because we
you
have
got to.
applications and
right,
things
paperwork,
attached
yeah,
or whatever.
exactly.
Or are you getting them right away now? Is the
I am
share,
now.
the select board person getting
The
the application with their resume?
I'm
Yes.
gonna
From
bring
the
you
town.
guys, I'm gonna bring you guys up to date on that, because we finally put a process in place with the town clerk on that. Because
Alright.
it was,
Yeah, everybody's in
So
on
then
that
if we
email.
don't like-
different.
if we don't-
Kendra, it's Kendra and us and you,
Yeah.
yeah, so we all see
So
it.
basically, if I could cut this short, all we need to do is determine who's gonna work with Jerry, who's gonna work with
I
you,
mean-
who's gonna work with
Right.
Bob, who's gonna.
Right.
So if there's 5 of us, we gotta say,
We'll figure it out.
who do you wanna
Yeah.
work with?
Yeah.
That's, I mean,
Yeah,
to
and
simplify it,
what works best for you too, I mean, we don't obviously wanna.
and then whoever is assigned to someone, we get in touch with them and say, how do you prefer to be
Yes.
in touch?
Yes.
And it's gonna
I'm
require
interested in that.
some rejiggering of
Alright.
the committees that you're doing.
Yeah.
Yes, oh yeah, I would,
Right.
yes, exactly, once I'm assigned to somebody, those are gonna be now my committees, not what I had in the past.
Right.
They may, one of them may be there or may not.
Or five of them maybe there.
But
Yeah,
yeah,
we'll see.
but that's it.
And I think the most important thing, once we've completed this, is aligning with our select board person to be in touch with the chairs of those committees so that they understand that we are introducing ourselves. This is what we're doing. We're here for you. Here's my phone number, here's my email, here's my blood type, you know, whatever. Because that, you know, those are the people we serve. We have to remember
Yes.
that.
That's,
Okay, so, we'll spend a little time on this today. And, you know, one of us will be back to you at least with a
Thank you.
progress report that says
Thank you
we've
so
done it, or we'll do it by
Yeah.
this date or whatever.
Yeah, awesome.
Okay.
And I'll go talk to Kayla, she may be back now, she was at a meeting in Orleans, but, and just see what, maybe I'll send her in if she's here. She can
Okay.
schedule,
Well, we
time
can,
to do something with you guys.
Doodle,
Doodle poll.
doodle poll,
yeah,
doodle poll, doodle poll.
We used to use Doodle at work.
yeah, I can,
But
I love it.
to
I
question
can
people,
turn people on it.
Yeah, I mean,
Survey.
it's pretty
it's
intuitive,
good for
yeah,
survey.
yeah.
Nice.
It's just, we don't wanna give people too many choices, cause then you get,
Right. You pick the first one they align with, boom, that's what I.
Or you get
that's what
their
I've
whole
done
life
with
story, I
people.
might be able to do this, but I.
No, all you get is a little green box to throw
yeah,
back.
yes, that's what you.
Yeah.
but there's also the new
I have
maybe.
family.
No,
No,
maybe.
Maybe is no.
Available here and not here.
Right, we're not gonna use
Yeah.
maybe in our
No.
doodle polls.
Yes, or no?
Thank you.
Sounds
You're
like
welcome.
a-
Stay if you'd like
Sounds like a
to.
good
No, that's
plan.
right.
Yep.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thank you, I like it.
Okay. Yeah, bye-bye.
Are we gonna continue talking about this?
I think we
Is that
should.
all
I
right?
think
Yeah.
we should.
We're on it?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, all right, if I could just, I mean, do we have preferences? Cause I would like to
Should we,
go with that, or?
should we vote on it that we are, do want to?
Oh, yeah,
adopt
we have to
this
make a
new-
motion, and
Make
we-
it one we adopt, we wanna go by Robert's rules,
So
or whatever, should we have to?
Yeah,
Should we
so
make
first-
a motion that we want to adopt this new procedure?
Yeah, so I'd like just, yeah, everybody was very nice and polite, maybe that was all genuine, I just
Yeah.
wanna give people a chance if there was something. you Wanted to say that you weren't comfortable saying or whatever, or to make sure that we're on board with this. So,
I think we were all in a position, we've all worked on this committee long enough to know that we can pick up a new committee
Mhm.
and work with it. I think we know how to do the process, and so.
no, and the scheduling is, and frankly, you know, it's the hardest ones to get are the select board members, because they've got lots of meetings, lots of other stuff. to be
Yeah,
done, and-
we'll have to understand what questions to ask on the Doodle poll to narrow people down and focus.
And maybe
Do
just
you
say.
throw out 3 dates? Do you, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like,
You wanna?
that's not gonna
Doodle poll
change.
works first before
Well, we have to
decide, or
understand,
we decide.
no, we can decide now,
I think,
but we need to understand. You know, is this gonna help us, not reassigning, but the Doodle poll piece of it, is this gonna help us or not?
Oh,
Right.
Well, we don't know. We don't
You know,
know.
If you give enough choices,
Yeah.
you wind up,
Give too many
you still
choices.
don't have any overlap.
Yeah.
so here's my perspective with this. I'm fine with working with the select board, and making things, convenient for them. We serve them and we serve the committees. Where I have a concern is we don't need to be told how to make the sausage in our kitchen, I guess is what I'm saying. So if we decide doodle poll is gonna work, fine. If we decide that we're gonna be reaching out to people via text message, fine. I don't necessarily, I think doodle poll adds another dimension.
Well, can't we just stay with the process that we're using right now? And
Absolutely,
then introduce that as we go and say, hey, I tried it, it's, maybe Sue goes in and learns it. And says, hey, this is pretty simple, gang. And why don't you try it next? And eventually evolve into doodle poll.
I love that,
That work?
Dee, 'cause I think what happens is I do this as I'll speak personally, I do this as a volunteer. And where I'm super technical, I have to remember that some people are not, and I wanna meet people where they are. So I know, for example, that Suzanne Bryan wants to be texted, so I'll text her.
Yeah.
I don't need to send her a doodle poll, she's not gonna see it, because she appreciates text.
So you could text her and tell her you sent her one.
Right, but it adds
And that's
another, it adds
key.
another dimension.
Yeah.
That's the key to it.
She brought up-
You learn to communicate with your person.
Amy says we get too many emails. Well, doodle poll's not gonna solve that problem,
No.
okay?
Yeah.
Sorry,
No.
but that's why I
Well,
was
it
asking.
is, it is, when you're doing, when you're scheduling an interview, you do have to go back and forth sometimes,
Right.
you know?
And that's
You
not
know,
gonna
this
solve
one
that
person
issue.
can't know this, that, are you free then,
Right.
when are you unavailable, when
And
are
it
you
also
available?
means,
In these days, not those days, so
You
doodle
still
poll,
have to-
just do it once.
but it also means that all the committee chairs and all the candidates also have to be
Right.
part of doodle poll.
Well,
I
they'll
think-
just get an email,
Well-
I don't know doodle poll, but I
So-
just imagine.
Yeah, no, I
Yeah,
think.
so again,
Sorry.
Let her have a list.
Maybe it's not the time, but just an idea, how about most of the time they are available before select board meeting, like to have a by rule, and you don't have so many, I say you don't have. We don't have so many open seats anyway, but by rule, Monday with you interviews.
Yeah, but they only meet twice a month.
Yeah, it's once a month.
And I go to
We have-
schedule somebody and you've already
before.
done it.
I did
Yes,
four
I know.
this
But
this month, so.
by rule, but that's my point is that there are not so many openings. Maybe when there are openings more, I mean, you can spread them out.
I think it's a good
it's a good
starting place.
suggestion.
Yeah,
I'd like to
just-
follow up on Dee's comment, which is, for me, I think the priority is, first of all, do we wanna do this? Rejiggering, because one of the things that will work, I think about this, is if we each have one select person.
Right.
You figure out it's doodle poll for this one, or it's X, or it's whatever, and we may not all be doing it the same, and there's other people involved.
I think, yeah, I mean, I guess where I got a little concerned was. We operate really well, we do a really good job, we're a great committee, we fill the slots, we get in touch with people, and I think. It sounds like there's been a little bit of frustration on the part of some on the select board about us trying to pin them down, and that can be solved without us having to add perhaps another process. So I think your point, Dee, let's,
Stay the way we are.
yeah,
and-
and work
and-
with each select board
see how it
person and,
unfolds.
right. Cause
Right?
Jerry,
That's
I
what
don't think.
Sue just said, right? Yeah, so we're all on the same page.
Yeah.
Are you on the page with me? You're staring at me like you're not so sure.
I'm not convinced, I'm not there yet, but
You're not there about the doodle, or you're not there about aligning one
Aligning.
search and one.
you know, again, she said that the problem was the communication and the scheduling, but aligning to the select board, I don't think it's gonna solve that issue. But I'm not convinced that that's gonna solve that issue. Because you're gonna have scheduling issues no matter what, whether you send out a doodle poll, or you send them a text, or you send them a email. You've got the committee chair that you have to worry about too, and the room that you're going to do it in, and all that stuff. There's no one, there's probably a tool out there, and I know there is, that would, that everybody would use to schedule a conference room and a person and and they all look at their own calendars. If everybody used the same calendar and kept their calendar open to everybody, that works. But when you don't, in my experience, you're gonna run into the same issue whether you're realigned or not. Not that I'm saying that we shouldn't realign, because we can try that, and I'm okay with that.
And another thing that can happen, even if everybody's aligned, the room might not be available.
Right,
Or you have to move to the library or any other like town hall.
yeah,
Or you zoom into one room and the
Yeah.
candidate and the chair are in the other room,
Yeah.
and you
so-
miss the
Or-
whole
That
interview.
is,
I mean,
that is
yeah,
happening.
see, all of this, see, the realignment's not gonna solve those issues.
Right.
And I think, we have to understand that going forward, that's all I'm saying.
So,
Okay.
no, I completely agree with that, and I
Yeah.
think when we do sit down with Amy again, or Suzanne, or whoever, we
Right.
just need to be clear about that, that this will solve some of it, but I mean, I came from a company where we did a ton of interviews, and we wound up buying a scheduling
Yeah.
program, and we hired a scheduler, because that's what we spent all the time on it.
Right.
But everybody's calendar was
You
on
had to
the same
use the
thing.
calendar, whether it be Google calendars, whether it be, Microsoft Outlook or whatever it was, that calendar, everybody had to be on it and they had to have their
Yeah.
calendar open.
Well,
Was the other.
I mean, we don't know that we won't be able to do that. We
Yeah,
have
Right, no,
one select board person and just one, set of, everybody could be, all right, this is, you all have to have your calendar open to each other, and
But there are gonna be some who are
People-
not gonna want.
people
the
will not do
calendar
that.
open.
all
They
right, so let
won't
me
do
just
that.
clarify.
They're not gonna.
Okay.
Is everybody okay with us trying this of aligning with the select?
Yeah.
Sure.
The select board, and being very open about the concerns, and I think we will agree if we do this, that we're gonna, we'll try it for a year or 6 months, whatever, and then we're gonna sit down and talk about.
Yeah,
Perfect.
my only concern was that, it's fine to start something new, I think we can develop our own process internally, we don't need.
What do you mean, we'll develop our own process internally? What do you mean by
I
that?
feel like, and I'm trying to be open and objective about this. If we agree to something, we don't need to be told by another group how we do our process.
but it's the
Oh, in
group
other words,
that's the
we
most
don't need them
important to come
we
in the
don't-
process.
Yeah.
So we have to have great buy-in from the select board. They are the ones that are.
I
appointing people.
actually would say that
So,
the most important group in the process is the committees that we serve. We partner with the select board, but there are some committee chairs who have told me they've never met their select board liaison.
Yeah, I'm sure.
So, I think it's both that.
I don't know what
yeah.
Bob Burns looks like. I don't think I would know.
I don't
him.
either.
And-
I
And
You
there-
either, right? So, I mean,
I don't know
So on
who,
the other side of that, it is an opportunity, if we've only got one, to bring them more into the,
Exactly, to the
Committees
committees that they
and
serve,
be part of.
of course,
that.
of course.
all right, so
Okay.
can we I make a motion to vote
that we.
to realign to the select board liaisons.
I'll second that motion.
Yes,
Yes,
okay.
all right, I was just doing a quick of seeing if there's anything, they don't completely line up, but if there's.
I think we just have to, if I can amend the motion, that we'll rejigger a couple of things here and there to make sure that there's an evenness among us.
Yeah, I'm not sure we're gonna be able to do this in a 5-minute thing.
No, we can't.
No,
We're gonna have to
okay.
we'll have to think about it and talk about it.
We'll have to,
Okay, shall we take a vote?
should we
We
do
can-
this
we
now
just-
or next month?
Oh, do we have to read those?
No, so what we just voted on was that we are agreeing to realign so that we match up with the
Okay.
select board.
That's it.
But we're also saying that at our next meeting, we will look at we will actually come up with a proposal for the select board where we rejigger
Mhm.
this. And then we will present, so, so if everybody's okay, I will reach back out to Amy.
I think we need to vote though.
Well, I'm
We just
making this
did.
whole, so we voted to do it,
Realign.
I think, was it?
Yep,
No,
We have to
You're
make a
saying it-
public vote.
No, we voted. He said.
Okay.
we
And
Maren
voted
made the
second.
reservation,
I-
you seconded,
The motion to vote.
the motion.
okay, and all in favor? Aye. Okay, nobody opposed. Okay, and, so. If everybody's in agreement, I will reach out to Amy after this meeting, tell her that we have agreed to do it, that the rejiggering is a little complicated, we couldn't do it in the time of the meeting, so we will. We will do that by our next meeting on September, whatever it is.
When you say rejiggering, or what are you talking about? Who's
Yeah.
gonna be assigned to who?
Yeah,
Yes.
because it's,
Okay.
like if I went to, like Jerry, it actually, it looks like it would be you. Dee,
Yeah,
because
because
you've
I
got
have-
finance, you've got climate, and you've
and
got
then-
forest advisory,
Yeah.
and then Ellen would have to give up cultural council.
Yeah.
And so it's just a matter
Do that.
Why don't we just do that?
Because Bob Bruns has the Historical Commission, Old Town, Taxation Aid, and Zoning Board of
Kate,
Appeals.
we're never going to resolve this if you're gonna go in that direction. So if someone gets Bob Bruns and they get off a little easy, they can be the one that helps others that get
Why doesn't
stuck.
Sue like take that, would take that?
Yeah,
Maybe
keep it
she's
light.
the chair,
So,
that's a light.
I was actually gonna volunteer for Bob Runs because nobody knows him and
Okay.
I've actually met him.
I think
But
that should be you.
That's fine.
but we can,
Right.
but we can
No,
suggest,
that's perfect.
but if we want to,
Alright,
we can
so-
suggest that,
And
just
just
I have the planning board that
Let's
there's.
for
table
every-
this for now,
I'll take
and everybody
any
can
of
do
them.
homework and
just-
kind of figure out what would work best for them for the next meeting.
Why? Okay, I'm good, Sue's good. You don't have a,
I don't know that I'm good yet.
I'm not
I
good
think-
yet.
I think what you said
And
makes
Dee,
a
all
lot
I'm
of
saying
sense.
is this, that I just wanted people to feel
Yes.
equal, like they were contributing equally. That's all.
Okay, that's
So-
that's fair.
All right, I'm a classic I on Myers-Briggs, so just doing this right now gives me like, like
Me
like
too.
we're gonna miss something. So
Could we go around the table and say, do you prefer, is there any
No,
one that you would prefer to just?
Can we just wait? I need to think about it. Okay, I really do.
So
Yeah.
this is where the open meeting is difficult, because what I'd love to do is
All right,
get a little bit of information, send something out for everybody to
Yeah.
look at.
Mhm.
And maybe that's just the preliminary, just so we've got something, and then we can formally vote on it in September. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
Alright, so
I,
keep our, what we have for now, for the next
For the
month or
next
something.
month.
for the next
Well, so the question is, yeah, does anybody have a
I've probably been
preference?
almost for almost all these committees at one point, so
yeah, you could
it
go
doesn't,
anywhere.
yeah, it doesn't matter to me.
I mean, I could send something out this afternoon, it just makes me,
Okay,
Yeah,
all
let's
right.
just do it
okay.
right now.
Don't
does
stress it.
anybody have a relationship with a select board person that, anybody that you would?
well, I
do.
mean, I have a relationship with Suzanne because where most of mine fall. Are Suzanne, I just wanna make sure
Yeah.
that there's consensus with everybody. And that everybody
Yeah.
feels
Mhm.
comfortable and heard.
All right, Dee, you were gonna say?
Mine is with Jerry, I work
Yeah.
well with him. And so I would love to be able to stay with him.
I don't really, as I kind of said before, I'm really more process oriented in this kind of situation
Amy or
than
Jamie?
relationship.
Amy
I
or
mean-
Jamie,
So I don't really care. I'll take Jamie.
Okay.
I like Jamie.
that's cool,
She's cool.
yeah, you're cool.
Yeah.
And
But
then-
guess what, Merrill,
Who do I have now?
you
Yeah,
get to
Amy.
work with Amy,
Amy?
She's wonderful.
Okay.
She's
right?
I've worked with her already.
So,
I've worked with her already, so I don't have a problem
So
with that.
is everybody sort of comfortable?
yeah.
So who's doing Bob? Is,
So,
Sue's doing Bob,
We could do this.
Kate's doing Suzanne, and last but not least, Ellen.
And
is
then the
doing-
capital project.
4 placements this month, just to let everybody know.
If he gets, select a search committee, member of board of the month,
The employee of. the
right
month,
here,
put you up
she's
on.
it. 4 placements.
Okay,
And
and then
it's
we've
some-
got capital projects
summer.
committee with Jerry.
and I don't think that there are any conflicts of interest.
That goes up to D
So-
again, right? Capital
Potentially, yeah.
potential.
Oh, Jerry's not here,
Thank you for
sorry.
moving it.
Hmm?
Thank you for moving it.
Sorry, I
Of
didn't
course,
realize.
yeah,
I thought.
this
Okay,
is
I'm
easy
sorry.
to resolve, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Everybody seems,
Does
everybody
any-
stepped up and said what they felt.
Does anybody have one that Amy brought? 'Cause I think there was one fewer, so I would love to see what she, or
Anyone?
maybe this.
What
What was the question?
what is,
I'm just musing. Oh, this is the one that Amy brought, okay, so Jerry is D,
Well, this
Yes.
is the one that,
Amy is
me?
Merrill.
Merrill,
right.
I've got
Bob
Bob.
runs is Sue. Me. And Jamie is Ellen,
Yeah.
who is the employee of the monthly.
Okay, so now when you look at,
Oh, and capital projects. is-
that goes under Jerry.
That goes under Jerry, and so that's T.
Okay,
So,
That works, yeah, it's good, that would make them
all right,
happy.
so maybe what I will tell, if we're okay with this.
That's what makes sense.
What I will tell, Amy, is that we've sort of made the pairings, that at our next meeting, we just wanna take a look at how they divide up to see if we wanna propose any changes about workload and whatever, and that way we can take a few minutes to think about that.
and would this make sense, and I'm just tossing it out there, that since we're doing this, should we perhaps reach out to the select board member and see how they best want to be contacted, if perhaps we.
Yeah, when this is finalized, I think that's
When
what
it's
you have to
finalized.
do.
And are we gonna
Okay,
finalize this next
now,
month,
next
correct?
month, then you reach out
Yeah,
and you get in touch with them
Right,
and say.
whatever the start date is.
Okay, so this is
You're
not
stuck with
final.
me, and this is,
Okay.
we're gonna be working
Right, this
together
is
on.
proposed.
I am gonna say,
We are
How
married.
how do you like to be contacted?
I am gonna say that these pairings are that Dee is gonna be working with Jerry, Mary's gonna be working with Amy, that, I'm making sure that that's okay with everybody.
Yes,
But that the bullets that go under each one, we're gonna decide at our September meeting,
Okay,
or we're gonna propose to them, or we're gonna ask one
if
of
there are
them
any changes.
if they wanna
Okay.
send somebody
Yeah.
here to
So we're
discuss.
not
Right.
turning the
Say that.
switch
I'm
today.
not sure I know what you're saying.
Yeah,
The
I know.
bullets under each of
So-
them.
So like the Bob runs one,
Mhm.
yeah, that it's a light kind of thing. We may be fine with this as is, but we may say, you know, Suzanne, yeah, that's the Board of Health, the conservation, yeah, there's a lot in that one, that's a very heavy workload
Mhm.
there.
Right.
And we may say, you know, let's take, like, I currently have the Board of Assessors, as an example, we might say, let's put the Board of Assessors under Bob runs.
Right,
So
Oh,
you're
no,
gonna
we
ask
can't do
them to
that.
change it?
Yeah, well, she said we asked that
she
question.
said that they were open to doing that
Okay,
because they saw that there was an impact
Oh.
to us.
okay, that's,
I didn't hear
So,
say that.
I didn't hear that
I didn't
either.
hear that
I
either.
didn't hear that.
I didn't
so-
hear that they were reassigning, they wanted us to reassign.
Well,
But you can ask.
no, we asked, we said, look, yes,
I don't think we should.
I don't think.
Okay, so just to recap, we've done this preliminary assignment. Next month, we will finalize the assignments going
Rubber
forward
stamp
and
on
put
it.
a rubber stamp on it. How's that? We keep it
Right.
simple,
Terrific,
Well, next month we started.
and we started.
and we'll start it if we rubber
Yeah,
stamp it
Started
next
at
month.
October
Aren't you
first or
glad-
Yeah.
whatever. we want
We'll
to do.
decide in the next
I mean,
meeting.
I would be
Yeah.
fine with September first. Took one and then the other. I think
Okay.
it'd be
And
fine.
I will
I think
invite
it'd just be
you know, Amy to,
different players and.
that somebody come from the select board to this meeting, so that if we're saying, let's move Board of Assessors from A to B, that whoever's here can say, yeah, that's fine, and not say, well, I gotta talk to them.
I don't think we should do
I don't think we
that.
should.
No,
do
I
that
don't
either.
I don't like that. I don't like telling
I
them how they should do it.
No, it's not, it's it's,
Or asking them to do that. I think
she
they.
said she was flexible, she
Mhm.
did, I asked the question and Kate asked the question, of course, we both heard the answer.
You're the only two that heard it.
But we also, and for clarity, Suzanne and I have had a conversation about this, and Jerry and I had a conversation about this. And
Well,
Jerry was absolutely flexible either way, he just wanted us to discuss it. I don't think he even expected that we were gonna take any action this month, so.
So does it violate the open meeting law if I draft an email and send it around to this group?
Yes.
Send it to.
You can draft an email and send it to us, but we can't respond.
Can't all, but we can respond to Sue,
You can
but
respond
just
to,
not reply all.
okay,
Yeah.
then I will do that.
Yeah, we just can't discuss it amongst
Okay,
our.
so,
Okay,
so
then
I will
fine.
draft an email, to send by the end of this week.
Okay.
And I will send it to the committee and remind everybody,
But Sue, you have, I think you have a lot, you know, just being chair, so
Yes,
having a light assignment of committees to me makes sense, and then there's gonna be times when, you know, we're not here, or we can't,
Where you
you
can
could
cover.
maybe cover for us,
That
or,
may be where we,
yeah.
I'm just not gonna
I'm
be the
just,
scheduling person,
I'm just-
let's be clear.
yeah,
That's
I think-
okay,
I
That's
think
the
it
worst
was-
part.
I hear that,
I think us has to learn that little thing, if we want to,
right,
you know? If we're able
Like-
to communicate with your chair and get things done, the way we're, the process works now, we're fine.
yeah.
And I would like each of you to look at the list that you now have and send it just to me. You know, cause I'm looking at Kate's right now, that's a pretty heavy, I mean, you got tea time, which is.
Well, it's tea time and I'm already working on the search committee and the Board of Health and strategic planning.
Oh,
So
that's-
it's really not, it's not.
It's not a big
structured.
deal, all right.
Good,
Huh?
yeah.
Conscom is full.
Thanks to you, because.
That's why she doesn't get
Search committee member of the.
No, year.
Yeah.
Because
You did it.
there was, just so you guys know, the chair of that committee went before the select board.
We saw that in the independent, yeah.
Well,
And Jerry's.
I
comment.
watched.
We're gonna talk about that
yeah.
because there were some
Yeah.
things that came out of it.
All right,
Yeah,
Yeah.
let's move on.
All right, we're good,
There.
we did it covered up, that was good,
All right.
that was big and important.
Yeah.
All right,
Ready to go.
the next item, just let's do something happy, since Gergana has been sitting here listening to all this and thinking, oh my God, I'm so glad.
I'm so glad I'm leaving.
So, just a little card
Oh.
and some flowers and
Very
And
good,
just-
Gergana.
we can't express in flowers and
gorgeous.
cards all that you've done and how much we're gonna
Yeah,
miss you.
thank you.
But we want you to know that we really are gonna miss you and you have done a tremendous, I mean, I've been short on the thing and I really love working on you. I love working on you in our project. You guys not able to, and
Thank you so
so
much, guys.
it is looking at that house. Very happy for you and George. It's gonna be wonderful for you. And like with many things, you know, there's a loss over here and a gain over here, and I'm thrilled that you're gonna be.
At least she's
At
doing
least with
windmill.
Windmill.
Yeah, windmill.
Are you still working on that?
Yeah.
And hopefully Harwich doesn't hear your skills and steal you away,
Well,
whatever.
She's
they-
probably gonna go tell them.
See, I don't know, I'll
That's
take
up
it
to
easy
you.
for a while.
Take-
Yeah,
But-
yeah.
But it's been lovely.
much
having you.
for
Oh, it's a lot.
Yeah.
All by
Doing a
yourself,
lot.
yeah.
Yeah. But thank you so much, it was definitely a pleasure, thanks to Kate to bringing me in here and, you know.
I
just-
remember, yeah,
Yes.
we had a cup of coffee at the Hot Chocolate
You
Sparrow.
recruited
and-
me and,
That's her mode of operation.
yeah, after I applied for the rec, they were full, that's
Yeah.
when they just hired somebody,
Yeah.
so.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been definitely a pleasure for me and I learned a lot. I love working with you all, made a lot of contact.
Well, don't be a stranger.
You are,
Our meetings are open, so you can come and
Yeah.
sit.
and you are
Thank
so well loved by so many people in this town. It really is
Yeah.
just, you've made a huge difference.
I just fell in love in this town and people and I'm so thankful and when you hired me, you know, I told you that I just wanna give back. That's my main reason, because I just, there's amazing people here.
You've got a
Yeah.
beautiful,
Friends.
generous heart.
Yeah,
You do.
I'm lucky to.
And hopefully you will love Harwich as much.
Well, I also hope that I will love it so much because it's gonna be my home, our home.
Yeah.
Georgia.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You know, and
of course.
it's a nice town, it's
Oh, it
lovely.
is, it's lovely.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, it's great.
So I just wanted to make
Yeah,
it
that-
clear, but one day, second home.
You'll be one of those part-time residents. of East Town.
Right?
Yeah, thank you.
Yes, the Part-Time Resident Taxpayers Association.
And when we talk about the select board, right before this, Gergana was talking about Windmill Weekend. You can see her on the video, and the
Okay.
select board said some nice things about her.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Which was
so
the
lucky.
accolades, yeah.
Yes,
And our
Well
outgoing
deserved.
town manager adores you, and
Yeah,
now
Jack
that
is so
she's gonna
sweet.
be retiring,
Yeah.
guys can powwow.
thank you, I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I love that.
All right, to the agenda. Okay, Merrill sent around the minutes from, last meeting. I don't
Yeah,
think I
thank
sent
you
them.
for all your input.
But, I made copies, you got it. So if
Yes,
you want
thank
to
you
take
for
them.
that.
I'll make a motion that we accept the minutes, the
I will-
updated minutes
I will
as.
second it.
In favor?
I,
Aye.
I was absent, so I don't vote for it.
but they would.
Yeah, they.
Okay. Thank you for that. Okay, so the vacancy report looks a little different just because I was talking around doing stuff. And just a little caveat, when we look at some of those graphs, for some reason I forgot the task force on zoning regular, so I updated the vacancy, but the graphs are kind of the budget, so I did update that, so, and they're just sorted by research member. So the conservation commissions are both filled.
Thank you, Ellen.
Yeah.
Yes, oh,
Yay,
Mine is
Ellen.
better on paper.
Especially now that
From
I'm
the
inheriting it.
yeah.
Yeah, you don't have anybody terming out. You did council on aging too, right?
Was that filled?
Yeah, and I did two on council on aging too, so they're full too.
Okay,
So,
okay, so there's, a-
Was one, it looks like there are one, so was there, another one, was it an alternate or what was?
Maybe
maybe. it
one
was-
got, no, they were both regular members.
Okay.
Maybe one got on this report, was probably before August
It might have been,
18th,
yeah.
Mhm.
and then one was after. So,
Okay,
yeah,
great.
So that's
All right, so you just got cultural council. Correct.
cultural council, it's like. They,
This one looks like they've been
aren't there
around
people
for a
to be on
while.
it?
Yeah.
Cultural council.
Yeah.
My guess is they're not chopped at the bit.
No,
Oh, so there's no urgency out there. So Gergana, I know you've been interviewing.
Yes, so, there were two open seats, I mean, including mine for the rec, but we filled them out.
Okay.
So they're ready to go. So that's fail, for the task force and zoning, they're pretty specific for the people that we want to hire. So I would suggest whomever is taking that, I think it's gonna be. Jane, I think I wanted you to always keep like in copy the chairperson Mary and Paul Lack, which is the town planner. Because if we have applicants, because they really need people with specific skills. But as we see, they have many open seats. Yeah, and I think the majority of work was, you know, the wastewater plan and all of this. What was it? They made a couple presentation at the library, so I think the bulk of their work is done, so I'm not sure if they need so many open seats, but yes, they have a lot. Yeah, they have open seats.
Here's a quick question that hopefully somebody can answer, because I couldn't answer it for myself. Is a quorum a majority of the number of seats that are filled, or is it a majority of the seats?
It's 51% of the seats that exist on the committee, so if the
filled.
committee. If the committee has 7 seats, so our committee has 7 seats, our quorum would be 4.
Okay.
So if we're sitting here and 2 people are missing of our 5. Then we won't have a quorum.
So if we have 6, 4 has to be, is the quorum, right? Not 3.
Yeah.
That's a good question, I don't know, I'd have to look in Robert's rules and, oh, wait, I've got the town charter
I
here.
looked in there and it wasn't listed under definition.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
probably in Robert's rules.
Yes,
and
I did
had
a
to
search for
simplify,
quorum and I
yeah.
couldn't find a
Yeah.
definition. So, yeah, so the task force on zoning, everybody's gotta show up then,
Yeah,
because
Mhm.
I was there. Okay. Okay,
that'll be interesting.
And so that's also why, with what you did, Ellen, is so important, filling those seats, because they were really worried about a quorum and.
Yeah.
You know, where the regulatory committees especially, if they can't do business, they're putting people off
Right,
for a
no,
month.
conservation
So-
does a lot.
Yeah.
A lot.
Dia skipped you and talked for it, because you just got the. one.
Yeah, human services, there's an applicant and there should be an interview sometime in September. Just wanted to get Jamie not so busy and the chair said we're not gonna start until November, so.
You're just waiting for.
Is that still,
Google Pro, yeah,
is that still you, Dee, or will that be something?
well, it won't be, it will.
It's gonna be me,
Ellen.
Okay.
But it won't
I
be
can,
till
I
September.
can give you the applicant.
Okay.
Is,
And you know Kate Berg anyhow, you're in the committee.
Yeah.
So.
here you go.
Kate.
Okay,
That's
so,
an easy committee.
so Kate, Board of Health, I think you filled.
The Board of Health had 2 openings, they're both filled, or I'm sorry, one is filled, it's an alternate. So we've got one alternate, the big piece is that the Strategic Planning Steering Committee was looking for somebody, again, that was what Gergana was talking about. Paul Lag should be was in the interview in his role as, the town planner. We had a wonderful meeting with a really good candidate, and so I'm taking the paperwork, it's right here, I'm taking it upstairs, set for our meeting.
And he's
So-
also interviewing the planning committee on Monday.
Okay, so yeah, this is a person that, could be a good fit also on finance. Later, if there's ever an opening. So.
And Old Town Center.
Old Town Center really sort of doesn't. They're not really interested in having more people. They meet, according to the. They have to meet once a year and that's basically what they do. They meet once or twice a year. The search committee. I'll just say this out loud. Big shoes to fill. But we're gonna have 2 openings now, so if any of you know anyone. Dee,
Somebody that I'm gonna
you got
reach
us our most recent member, thank you, Dee. So if you're swimming and bump into
I know, I
somebody,
have somebody listen from Boat Meadow Road, I think her name was Kathleen, who was with me when I talked to her?
On both matter.
I'll reach out to her, okay, she seemed personable. You know the guy that had the big, blue bow? And now he doesn't keep it there anymore? I don't
Oh,
remember.
yeah, I don't know his name.
I don't know his
Yeah,
name either, yeah.
Paul.
Not Paul.
It's not
no,
Paul,
not
no.
Paul.
But this
What
is
about,
all
what about Laura? Paul's wife, what do you think?
I don't know.
What do you
I don't know if
think?
she's
We knock on
interested.
her door someday?
well,
Yeah, well, anytime, yeah,
and
as long as you bring a bottle.
Who's in on
This-
the way?
this person also that's interviewing for all of these committees. He mentioned in the interview that his wife was a school teacher, they're both retired. And they've both taken a little bit of time just to sort of.
Yeah.
And I
What's her
did
name?
say in the interview, you know, what's your wife's name? And he
you go.
said, well, she's a brand new grandma of
Oh.
twins. So, we'll see what
Busy, right?
happens.
I'm
with
actually
that.
gonna be with him on Monday, so
All right.
I'll just
You know,
I'll
if you can
ask.
stick in about the
Yeah.
search committee, that would be
heard a
great.
rumor.
And, so Sue and I did sort of look at all of the HR people that are on Cape Cod. There aren't many of them to see, and it's just, I think we're.
There's one person I'm gonna reach out to.
Windmill Weekend, maybe.
Yeah,
the-
I'll find somebody.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah,
I'm sure
let's keep in mind that we're gonna have a booth on Windmill Weekend and
Yeah.
Yeah,
we may get some interest.
right.
Yeah.
And anybody hoping for the conservation committee?
And,
Too bad, all full.
the last thing that I'm doing is, we've exploded over at the Church of the Holy Spirit, the Episcopal Church that's in Orleans, and there's a huge number of people, new people from Eastham, and I am gonna reach out to all of them to
nice.
see if they have anything, so.
Okay,
So I think that's it on mine,
okay,
right?
Merrill, these are both pretty new vacancies.
Yeah, they're new, I don't have any updates.
Yeah, that's,
And then I have the long list, recycling, we've got one candidate. Talking to the first week of September, Board of Assessors is.
Did
about-
you,
What is the Board of Assessors?
Did
Oh, you
you
have it
place,
all.
Mary Beth Dyer? What is
So
she?
she's the one, yeah,
Okay.
she's traveling, so she's
Okay.
back, so
Okay.
she interviewed, she's the one
she's
for
not-
the interview that I was in the next room and she was here, so they like her.
Oh, yeah,
But, so I just need to. check with
Okay.
her. So I think that will be good. Yeah, they were
yeah,
very,
she's great.
they were very excited about her, so. Planning board, we have an interview for assessors, tea time is nothing, and the zoning board of appeals continues to be a challenge. We met with somebody who would be good, he's not sure he wants to do it, he's thinking about it, but it's been like a week since Joanne and I met with them, so I'm
It's a
feeling
tough one.
and we keep having these people that look good and then they, okay.
And that's a regulatory, I don't know how many seats are on that, but it's, yeah.
Those are alternates.
Yeah, they're all,
All three.
they're all,
Okay.
but the regulars are just 5 and she too has quorum anxiety where, you know, people
Yeah.
don't show up, so we actually have 29, well, we
More
really,
anxiety.
we really don't,
That's a good one. Great.
QA,
QA, okay. Gonna go through this pretty quickly because it's after 12 and we do have a bunch of stuff to talk about. Old business, final prep for Windmill Weekend, so, we are in good shape. Kayla orders a banner. So that will be coming, we do have a tent that's somewhere in town hall,
Mhm.
we've got the table,
We've got 2 tables.
so we are all set.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, they're getting people there at what times.
yeah, so I don't know if we wanna sign up for times or just, I plan to be there all day.
And I'm gonna be there all day, so.
So if everybody else,
What time does it start?
We,
Nine?
at
10.
10, and
10.
so I was gonna get there at
10 to
9
4.
o'clock to set up. And I've got these, we've got a ton of these that people will probably,
Okay, so.
the searchlights.
What about brochures? Do we have them?
so the
there-
brochure, Kayla has it. She told me that the layout is for 11 by 7, it wasn't for 8.5 and 11, it's a different size.
It says the size on.
Hmm?
I can check the size, but it was the same size of this one. And you can resize if there is a problem.
So she was gonna resize it if you can resize it.
Yeah.
So, okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. And then there was a question about budget, so she was gonna talk to Rich.
So,
What's your
it
biggest-
needs to be resized.
What is the size?
She told, I will send you a note when I get
Okay,
back, cause I
yeah,
have it.
okay.
She may have already done it.
Yeah.
So you may wanna just, so that people aren't working.
Yeah, let me,
duplication of
don't do
effort.
anything,
Mhm.
let me check, she's out.
Yeah.
But I have it, I have emails track of her. So I do that, so I will do we talked about just highlighting the openings. So I was thinking of doing, something that's like this, that just sits in a little acrylic frame on that, and then maybe a poster. That we can put up of just,
Hot
openings.
needs,
Yeah. Or something,
Vacancies, yeah,
so.
hot openings.
yeah,
And,
good,
That'd be great.
that'd be great.
and I will.
And if you apply, you get a searchlight.
Yes.
Just knowing what we're trying to get people to serve on
Yeah.
is a good
Yeah.
help. That's major.
And,
And maybe we could bring a laptop or a tablet or something, be able to just go
Oh, that's
right
a good
on
idea.
and show people, this is where you would go, this is how you get to it, and this is what the application looks like, that kind of thing.
Right now is the thing, yeah.
I was gonna say, give me your name, we'll just apply for you.
okay.
After you come out of the beer tent, why?
I just leave a stack on the table of the beer tent.
They forgot to tell us that they live in Providence now, right?
With every 6 beers, you get a committee seat. Okay, final approval of committee liaison, that's sort of up in the air now. So the draft dashboard, I think we can review at the next meeting, those charts, and the committee thing. So the other thing, just to note that Kate started talking about, that, Karen, what's her last name? Strauss, was at the select board meeting on July 21st. When I went to meet with Kayla about the banner, she started talking about that. I said, oh, I didn't know that. So she came and she talked for probably about 10 minutes. or so it's July 21st, it starts at 49 minutes if anybody wants to watch it, right after Gergana, if you want to start a little, it's on there. But she was talking about her frustration with the vacancies and her quorum anxiety. And she was talking for a while, and then Jerry said, well, what can the town do? And, she would like, her view was that the role of the search committee is to sit back and wait until applications come in and then follow up on that. And sadly, nobody dissuaded her of that from the select board, but that was the view. Anyway, the way it was left was that Kayla and Karen and Alex, who I believe is a town employee on conservation,
Conservation.
are going to work on something. So when Kayla told me this, and I said, oh, the search committee should be involved with that, and she said, yeah, I completely agree. And so I'm going to have her come, if she can't come to the September meeting, to just brainstorm. And it was things that we were talking about. I guess she's doing some redesigns on the website, so we talked about bringing something on the homepage when you land about volunteer opportunities there. She was showing me, I believe it was Brewster, not Howard, Brewster's website, where they do a nice job of that. Maybe getting something at the library with this permanent spot, so just more outreach, so I hope Karen's feeling a little more comfortable, that her positions
Yeah.
are filled.
Yeah.
There, I hope.
She almost wasn't gonna take two new people at a time.
Well, and that's
So
the
it was-
thing,
yeah,
that's the
like,
thing that was
what?
really fascinating, was she said that the search committee's role is to wait for people to apply. And so when I talked with Jerry, I did let him know that the members of the search committee are always looking. We have people who are members of other organizations that are always out there trying to recruit, and we just don't sit on our hands waiting for people to come. Having said that, Suzanne did mention that afterwards, I guess in your debrief, that there was sort of this pushback of, well, we're gonna have to train the person, and Suzanne finally just said, that's what we do.
Yeah,
That's what we have to do, and if you went to the select board, you had two openings, you have two viable candidates. This should be a celebration, not anxiety provoking, right?
yeah.
Yeah,
Well, I think that's her personality.
Right.
She wants to be on that board for a lifetime. And she's very knowledgeable and very dedicated to it, for sure. So there's a lot of ownership in it. I don't know if that's good or bad, but that's how it is right now.
Right.
But but she did, and really after the second interview, she went right with it. Yep, let's just sign for both of them. Thank you, God. There you said no.
Okay, and so, yeah, let's take a moment and celebrate the full conservation.
Yeah, yeah, so that's good.
And so.
And it was the article in the paper that did it. So
Yeah.
those are the things that do it, really.
Yeah.
We can recruit our brains out, but that's what got those two people interested, and said, I wanna be on that committee, I wanna.
So was it in
Yeah.
Boston?
Yeah,
It was
The
independent,
and the independent, yeah.
under the East Ham section,
Yeah.
the select board meeting. And
Okay.
Jerry said, we have.
That, there was a big article,
We
it's a
couldn't get
couple big, yeah.
And
Very
yeah,
well
it
done.
was the next day, and then 3 or 4 days later, the two applicants
Yeah,
Yeah.
applied, so,
So
It
in
takes
Taylor's
some
here,
everything.
just brainstorming about.
yeah, I
Yeah.
think it
Right.
takes a village,
More,
and
yeah,
it's,
outreach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Before.
and yeah, that brings up a good point. Should we be in contact with somebody from the independent who covers East Ham periodically to highlight
Yeah,
yeah,
that's a
some of
great
this
idea.
stuff?
Yeah, good idea.
we used to do
Yeah, I
that,
like that.
we used to do that, yeah.
Yeah.
there's also Deb Abbott is the administrator of the Facebook, the East Ham Community
Right,
Facebook
right.
page,
Mhm.
and I think it's appropriate that we,
Yeah.
that we do a posting and have Deb highlight it so that it stays
Yeah.
at the
Yeah,
top
I
of
had
the
talked
page.
Yeah,
about
yeah,
doing
we gotta-
that and an ERPA posting
Yes,
after Labor Day.
yeah,
Of getting those out there.
yeah.
Um, So Ellen mentioned something which reminded me, it's never too early to start thinking about vacancies that will occur this summer. At the next meeting, I'll bring a report that, Kate ran of, just what vacancies will be coming up, just as an opportunity to start talking to chairs, because it may be that the person is fully intending to stay on for another 3 years, and then you don't have to worry about
Hasn't
it.
that already taken place by June?
But I'm talking.
Yes, but we're talking about over the coming.
Next year. I'm sorry.
We're sorry, and what I did was
Just trying to get through.
I got curious and I ran a
I'm sorry.
I'll
report.
get through today.
I ran a report of everybody who's coming in FY, you
Oh
know.
my gosh.
But there are a lot of people. What was interesting was there are some people who are terming out, and one of the things that we talked about at one of the interviews in this room was that when someone terms out, 3 terms, 3 years each, 9 years, if they term out, the select board can make an exception.
Right.
But it's not always a great thing to do, and to your point, having fresh blood and new eyes and new perspectives is always something.
And giving people a chance to take their expertise from one committee to another
Right,
is a good
exactly.
thing for the town. So,
Great point.
so you may look at, because there are these quirky situations where, like, you just put 2 people on the conservation commission, they're gonna expire at the same time, and you might look and see that you've got 4 people
Yeah,
coming off, which is different than maybe it's 1.
right.
So it's more an awareness thing to just see what's ahead.
And things are staggered, you know, it's not like a
They're
whole
all
committee,
overlapping,
yeah, they're staggering, so it's good.
Okay, and then just a couple words, because I don't wanna go over them now, but we talked about doing a dashboard. I played around with it, and that's what's here. Here are a couple of things that we can do. One is just a pie chart of vacancies. So I said this is wrong, because I didn't have the, whatever yours are, those things. This other one is length of vacancy by months. This. I think we need to do a little honing on some of the data, like tea time is on here. I'm not sure that we show it. There are a couple of places, but it's just the idea of that. And the other was, I was just curious of sort of what percentage of seats are actually open. Whereas 5% of seats, 11.7% of regular seats, 50% of alternates. Which I think just.
Is that the vacancies by percentage?
Yeah, and I think we could just put box on here. Yeah, I don't think it needs to be a separate, but anyways, just think about. This is what came to my mind when you said dashboard at the next meeting. What do you think of when you say dashboard, what data would be helpful to see? I'll get it covered. Right now. And
So the task force on zoning and regulation, how many seats are on that committee?
9, it's big.
Mhm.
And
Wow.
it's regulatory, right?
I think so.
Let me just, because maybe what they need to do, task force,
Regular seats.
no, it's not, it's
No.
zoning board of.
Zoning board of
Never mind,
Yes,
never mind,
so the
I
task
just got
force,
worried for a
they are
second.
9, and they do have alternative too.
Yeah.
So I think the total were 10. If I'm not wrong.
So. All right, anything else? The next time you'll see each other is.
Right.
Right.
Do you want people to sign up for anything? I mean, if we're gonna be there all day,
Do you,
are you gonna bring candy?
I'm gonna bring it in. Sorry about it. I'm thinking.
Gonna bring me candy?
I am, we're bringing candy. Look in the cabinet this morning, I'm like, hey, we have those.
We had a swarm of
Blow
kids
pops.
that were blocking the adults.
Let's do tab.
Yeah.
We'll pull a few fillings out.
with a
Well, I
card
have a
from the
few
local
more other
dentist.
Yeah.
guys and what.
So do you guys wanna sign up for Tom's?
Yeah, I think the more, just trying to think of when's the most.
Busy.
The busiest time is in the morning, correct?
It's around noon because the
Noon.
beer garden will be open.
beer
Yeah,
garden.
because-
People start
Right.
to drink, it's
So,
day drinking.
I can tell you from the
So you're
food for it.
And So why don't we
It's
say
11.
11:30?
Yeah.
And then stay for a few
If
hours.
you wanna help with setup.
When's the parade?
Well, I'll come to Redis on Sunday.
And you're
that's-
gonna
So
be,
you got
you're gonna be
what,
with the Elks?
Yeah, I'm at the Elks
And-
tradition.
You're gonna bring us lunch.
Cooking, yeah, sure,
And. You go
We'll
early.
text you.
We will- yeah, I will not be paying attention to anybody outside, I think I'm gonna be in the fry later again.
Oh, you're gonna be cooking.
So if you need, oh yeah, I'm actually cooking.
You're
So if you
cooking,
want-
right? Yeah.
Yeah, if you want, fried dough, let me know.
Oh, you're doing fried dough?
I traditionally did fried dough.
Fried dough and shots of tequila, yay.
Next year, yeah.
I worked at a fair once where I did cotton candy. It
Oh,
must have taken me 2 weeks to get.
Oh.
Yes, was like, oh.
well, I work the fry laters every Wednesday night, like tonight, for
Yeah.
example. Although it's gonna rain, so we're gonna be indoors and there's no band tonight, so.
So.
Don't bother coming.
Yeah.
Right, right.
So if one of you could come at 11 and the other at 1, or if you both wanna come at 11.
Yeah.
Well, these two together,
No,
with the
we're a team.
candy and the kids,
We're a
it's
team.
hilarious.
We work.
All right, come at 11.
You and I will become not persona
We will
non
sit on the
grata.
chaise lounge and watch you.
Yeah,
Yes.
there's no bias.
Yeah.
I'll bring a 6-pack and you and I can.
You let her hear, and then she'll yell at me, did you get that one?
Okay. So,
Yeah.
all right,
A
a
motion
motion
to adjourn? I motion to adjourn.
Second.
done.
All right.
Everyone say aye.
All right.